Well, today we're going to talk about Doom Patrol. It was not even. I wasn't expecting it to be what it is. So let's get started. Okay, so Doom Patrol is one of those things, sort of like, I guess, Guardians of the Galaxy or Ant Man for Marvel, where for DC I saw it. It's similar to um, I mean, I guess there's a lot of things I can compare it to. I'm thinking like Watchmen, like Teen Titans, that kind of stuff. It's very kind of offshoot. Like if you're really into comics, you know about it, but it's not a big like comic draw. And if you're wondering, the whole hoodie thing is because it's just more comfortable right now. So this is gonna be the aesthetic for a few videos. If you don't like it, maybe I'll change it. Somebody say something and maybe I'll change it. But for me, right now, it's like a safety blanket. It's a thing I'm about right now. So we're gonna do the hoodie thing. Um, yeah, but Doom Patrol is a series on, I want to say it's HBO exclusively, and it's actually really good. Like I think I was expecting it to be. All right, so let's start out with this. The elephant in the room. Brendan Fraser voices one of the characters in the show, and I don't know why. Knowing that initially, I was apprehensive to watch the show. Like, there's nothing about Brendan Fraser's career that's made me think like, oh, if Brendan Fraser is voicing something, like I'm not gonna be a fan. But for some reason, I saw it and I was like, it's probably not gonna be like it's probably gonna be too jokey, like it'll be more the Mummy, or Doctor Doolittle, or I'm trying to think. I think he did like a Tarzan or like a Dudley Do. I don't know. Whatever he did. He's done a lot of very jokey uh, personas when he's done his acting. So I thought it was going to be more like the original Suicide Squad movie, where it was just like all jokes and not all of them landed, and it was just very weird. But I was pleasantly surprised. I went into the show not really knowing what to expect, and the first season is a doozy. I mean, it has character development in a way that I think is really good. One, because it's a season kind of thing. Like, it's not like they did like a Doom Patrol movie. They're doing like a full season. I want to say honestly, I think it might be up to season 2, maybe season 3. But okay, so watch the show, and you're introduced to the main character of Cliff Steele, because that's very on the nose for who his character becomes. He's a race car driver. He's he's Ricky Bobby. Okay, he's the Ricky Bobby kind of racer sort of thing. He has some problems in his marriage that you see evident through the fact that he's sleeping with the maid, the nanny, somebody. I think it's the nanny, because like his wife is like running around like, oh, like there's the daughter is upset or something, and then it kind of keeps cutting back and forth between him and the person with, I want to say is either the nanny or the maid, and then the mom like looking for the person, and then the person has a kid, and they're not in the pool house and all this stuff. Okay, so you see him being a race car driver. You see this kind of like flashbacky sort of situation, and you're like, oh, he must have, because of the situation that you see on the track, that's how he got to where he currently is now. It turns out that that's kind of like a misdirect. You find out what's actually going on, but that's what your original thought process is. Okay. Then you're introduced to Niles Calder. Niles Calder is let's call him scientist, who found the Cliff character, and is trying to help him, trying to bring him back, to assist him. There we go. To assist him in becoming who he will now be. Okay. And then you're introduced to um um I can't remember what they call her in the show. I think they call her like Stretch Girl, Elastigirl, the Blob Girl. I think I don't remember, because I think it's the Blob Girl. Hold on, I'm gonna have to Google this. Hold on, because now I'm drawing a Yes. No, wait, hold on. That's what it is. Okay. It is Elastigirl. They call her like the Blob and some other things and references that they make to other things, and you'll see that through the season when they're talking about her. But character's name is Rita Farr. Okay, you're introduced to Rita Farr's character. Rita Farr's character does a very, do you know where you are, that kind of thing. And you get the first introduction to Cliff has now turned into a robot, or he's been made into a robot, because she gives him like a mirror to like see who he is and powers him down. Like he needs to know what's going on. Okay. You are then introduced to Larry Trainer and Jane. Okay, so those are your main characters. So you've got Rita Farr. She is a... her backstory is she was a 60s actress. She encountered something while on set. It was underwater, something on set. And she now can, turn into a mass. Okay. You're introduced to Larry Trainer's character. He was an Air Force fighter pilot who, through a test with a prototype plane, introduced to very similar to Fantastic Four, where there's like that cloud in space. He's flying. He goes to a cloud. The cloud imbues him with something. His plane falls, he turns into Larry Trainer. Okay. The way that they go about both the character development for Larry Trainer's character, who is struggling, let's say, with coming to terms with himself. There's a lot that he's struggling with. The fact that he is radioactive, so he has these like bandages that the Niles Calder character made that he like wraps around himself to keep himself from being radioactive to other people. He's also dealing with his identity and who he is as a person, how that connects to the entity that you end up finding out is now inside him, and dealing with all of that. So he's dealing with that. Rita's dealing with hers. Jane's character is dealing with multiple personalities, and not in the sense that people normally talk about multiple personalities, but actual, like each personality has a power. It's not just, because I know clinically speaking people can have multiple personalities, but each personality actually has a power where when she transitions from one personality to another, there's a physical change in her character. You know what I mean? So like one of the characters, when she changes, like they get like a silver, not hue, but like a silver like lip liner kind of thing. Like when she changes, you can tell it's like a different person. Whereas traditionally, when people talk about having multiple personalities, when they go from one person to another, it's really just one person that you see. You don't see them change physically all the time. Like you might see their speech pattern and stuff like that change, but not like a physical change, the way they do in the show. Okay, so the show is interesting. It takes more of like a family dynamic. So it's their relationship to each other, trying to help each other through what they're going through, and dealing with being metahuman, and dealing with what that means with them being outside the house, if their powers are a good thing, a bad thing, if they're going to be superheroes, that kind of thing. It's a very interesting concept because it's not all about the powers. A lot of it is just the dynamic between a lot of the people that are on screen, and dealing with a lot of the issues the way that they deal with the issues. A lot of people get separate individual episodes for you to kind of flush out, like, oh, this is what they're dealing with. They're dealing with, multiple personalities, and what it might be like to deal with those personalities, and how people perceive you, and how you're coping through that, dealing with the Cliff character, and dealing with, he's... Okay, spoiler. This whole video is a spoiler. I'll see if I'll edit and move it around, but Cliff's character is just a living, like, human brain inside of a machine. So he can't feel anything. He's strong because he's like a machine, but he can't feel anything. Obviously doesn't need to eat, anything like that. So he's dealing with all of that. Larry Trainer character is dealing with all of the issues with not being able to have any physical, like, human contact because he has to be bandaged all the time. And then when he's not bandaged, he's in a room that the Niles Calder character made that is radiation, like, encapsulated. Not radiation encapsulated. it's made so that the radiation can't escape the room, because if otherwise he would like radiation sickness would poison everybody else in the house. And then the Jane character, and then the Niles Coulter character, who is just the scientist bringing them all together. There we go. Is the Professor X of the house. He's like, I'll bring you all together, give you all a place to kind of sit and learn about yourselves and learn about what the future will be for you. I would honestly say, if you're looking for a superhero show where you'll invest in the characters, similar to, you know, the WB shows like The Flash, stuff like that, where you want to invest in characters, I'd suggest giving the show a watch. It's actually a decent show. It was a lot more than I thought it was going to be, and I love being pleasantly surprised by TV shows, movies, anything like that. So the fact that I was surprised, like I watched it and I was like, wow, this is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, is great. I wasn't expecting it to be all that good. So I'll keep watching. I think they're still doing new episodes. So I think as of recording this, I think it's every Tuesday, every Thursday, something like that they're releasing episodes. So if you haven't watched it, I suggest you giving it a watch. If you have watched it, comment below what are your favorite episodes from the show. Try not to spoil too much, because I've tried to leave out a lot of plot details or specifics as far as characters are concerned. So try not to spoil anybody else in the comments, but comment below like, hey, this is my favorite episode, and you know, we'll start a discussion on that. If there's any other shows either on HBO, because I know HBO does a lot more of the DC stuff. So any other shows on HBO you'd like me to talk about, comment below, let me know, like, subscribe. If you have an issue with the hoodie, let me know. There will be a few videos that'll come out with the hoodie, so by the time I see the comments, there will probably already be a few videos with hoodies, because this is just going to be the thing for a bit. But I appreciate everybody who keeps coming back. Thank you for listening to me and let me talk about just the random things that I decide to watch. And if you have anything to suggest for me to watch, movies, TV shows, music, let me know.